What is going on, SoFi fans? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today I want to give you a quick overview of SoFi, what the data points are truly saying, and why analysts have recently turned even more bullish on SoFi. So I'm going to go over all that. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. Without further ado, let's get right to it. So currently up 0.76% on the technicals. Things are starting to look fairly well, and based on my last update, I did say that it was going to continue to stay in the higher percentile of the Bollinger Band, and most likely will be tested fairly soon to that 50-day moving average, so as you can see right here. So of course, though, there still is a lot of fear on the market, especially in the whole banking sector, and SoFi recently did get a whole new level of risk potentially by them acquiring that new mortgage lending company. So, and still that is in the air as far as kind of how much did they pay. So I think we have to wait until their earnings, May the 1st, I do believe it is. But like I said, when it comes down to their earnings, some analysts have turned very bullish, and I've already done a video on that, but since then it's actually gotten better. Some people don't like this because it makes it harder for SoFi to beat earnings potentially, but based on this, earnings per share has gone up. So it looks like there's been 3 new analysts giving ratings, and very much bullish ones. So the consensus right now is -7 cents for the earnings. And of course, we already do know it is going to be, I think, the tail end of this year or early next year. That's when it's going to obtain profitability, which will be absolutely huge for SoFi. So definitely a very positive thing for the earnings per share and analysts. And when it comes down to, for instance, revenue, as you can see right here, there's been 2 new analysts recently, and they did bump it up about 1.6 million overall. So currently 441.64 million is the average estimate among the analysts, of course. So definitely, even in the span of, I think, 2 weeks since my last update from SoFi when I did talk on this, it's already gone even more bullish. So definitely, I think in reality, a lot of people are very excited about the upcoming earnings, as am I. And let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. Like I said, and based on my last video, some people didn't necessarily like that because, for instance, when it comes down to SoFi disclosing their earnings, they're going to be comparing it to these analyst estimates. So for instance, by analysts being more bullish, it kind of does indirectly make it harder for SoFi to beat. And of course, even if you look at the data, SoFi always beats the analyst estimates based on revenue. And when it comes down to, for instance, earnings per share, no different than that, they still beat analyst estimates. So definitely, SoFi, I think analysts are starting to catch on that SoFi constantly beats earnings every single quarter. But yet, if you look at the stock price, it's been kind of lagging per se. So once again, let me know you guys' thoughts on that. When it comes down to it, I'll give you guys a quick overview of everything else you need to know. As far as SEC filings, nothing really new. As I brought up in the previous video, there was a preliminary 14A, so the shareholder meeting that they did disclose. And then as far as press releases, nothing new in that regard. So it's just following the broader market right now. And of course, going into next week, there is a lot of big potentials for the broader market to kind of go up. And in my opinion, I think SoFi has just been lagging because a lot of people are waiting for further cracks in the economy to come through data points, and they haven't actually come. So in my opinion, I do feel that people are going to start reacting to this and buying good value stocks such as SoFi. But of course, like I always say, these videos are for entertainment purposes only. So when it comes down to it, I'll give you guys a quick overview of what shorts are doing, and the reason why I'm bringing this up is because it's a good benchmark. SoFi is not necessarily going to have a squeeze in my opinion, so it's just benchmark purposes. Short score is currently 69, utilization is around 65. What shorts are doing this Friday, increasing 193,000 shares, so kind of small in reality. Cost to borrow average is complete pennies, so 1.02%. There is a broker out there charging 0.07%, so kind of incentivizing shorting behind the scenes. But there is a 11.83%, that is the percentage of the free float that is being shorted, and that works out to be around 94 million, give or take. So definitely by them increasing, they are kind of doubtful. So when it comes down to the other data points, you can see a little bit more of a reduction in institutional purchasing today. And it could be various reasons. It might just be because it's a Friday potentially, or just maybe they do sense something coming. But as you can see based on this, there was a lot of big buying that's been happening over the last several days. So for instance, yesterday was 1.23 million, 3.4, 1.74, and based on the bid and the ask, they are all buys. So in reality, you guys make the determination if that's important or not. And as far as options activity, you can see right here, currently $631,000 in call premium versus $223 in put premium. So definitely a lot more orientation towards calls, clearly matching exactly what institutions and the actual analysts are assuming for the upcoming earnings, because that is in reality right around the corner, so on May the 1st. So definitely let me know your thoughts, and if you are playing SoFi through options, what are you doing? Are you thinking it's going to be around 650, 7? Where do you see things going? Because historically, SoFi has always had a very quick pop due to earnings, but unfortunately the broad market just brings it back down 9 times out of 10 at least. So again, as far as it getting a positive result on the price point, it's never really done that. So hopefully one of these times it will actually stick and stay above 7, and hopefully from there just continue to trend up. But like I've mentioned, as far as some points to really watch for, looking at the fib levels, it is currently, as you can see right here, so $5.96, so 605 is that big point to watch for, which most likely, in my opinion, will be broken next week. So it'll be $6 plus from then on out, and then from there you can kind of watch and expect $6.76. Vice versa, if things turn bad potentially in next week, it could go down to $5.33. So most likely just kind of wedge bound between here, but like I said, I do feel and am a little bit more optimistic and bullish on SoFi given the market, like I said, especially if you do couple that with a lot of the data points. So for instance, stochastic has been kind of flat, so a little bit more neutralish at 60, no defined trend right now. Momentum number retail investors, oddly enough, have been getting out for whatever reason, which of course you do see that kind of going against the actual stock price. So once again, maybe people are fearful taking profits. I'm not necessarily sure. So give yourself a shout out what you've been doing, if you've been buying, selling, holding, whatever you've been doing, because I don't know why there's be any reason to sell potentially, unless there is something that I'm not aware of. Maybe there's a data point coming out that could indicate potentially something big. GDP is coming out next week, so maybe that's why. I'm not sure. So let me know you guys' thoughts on SoFi in the comments below. But me personally, who isn't a financial advisor, I'm actually a pretty big fan of SoFi. And once again, I do feel that this upcoming earnings, I actually agree with the analysts, and that is going to be a very strong earnings once again. So let me know your thoughts on all this in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And without further ado, I appreciate you guys watching, and let's all make a lot of money on SoFi.